They say he who laughs last laughs best, but a playoff chase is no laughing matter.
No, and New England and Colorado definitely aren't laughing as the pack has caught up to them.
Laughing, some of these teams are going to be absolutely crying.
I'm crying about this intro. 7 teams, 3 places in the playoffs, 1 game. We'll do the math next on Extra Time. Hey everybody, welcome to Extra Time. I'm Greg Lawless alongside Shep Messing and Jason the producer. Act 1, going to the show. We're going to be looking at the teams who are trying to make it in the playoffs in this tightest of playoff races that we've ever seen in MLS. Before that though, we want to remind you there's only 1 week left in the Extra Time Guest Reporter Contest. You would basically send us an interview through our website and you might win a trip to MLS Cup to join us at Seattle. Jason, have we gotten some submissions?
Yeah, we've gotten a bunch of submissions. We have a luchador interviewing his favorite team. We have a report from the 2022 World Cup and more.
Who wins that World Cup?
The U.S. wins World Cup.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Of course, the winner will join us for MLS Cup. The 2 runners-up, what do they get?
They get a Microsoft Zune MP3 player.
Very nice.
Winner gets stripped to MLS Cup with us.
Cool. So we're going to be doing a live show at MLS Cup. Check out our website on MLSnet.com. Go to video and drop down to Extra Time for all the details and where to send your submission of an interview with somebody, anybody, a celebrity, your mother. It really doesn't matter who you interview. And you could win a trip to MLS Cup to join us in Seattle. Now, speaking of Seattle, Seattle Sounders have made it into the playoffs. That's right. The first expansion team since the 1998 Chicago Fire to reach the playoffs. Is there any connection, let's say, between Seattle and Chicago?
Definitely. We've seen the connection in terms of, if you look at the way those teams were built, right up the middle of the field, you have Freddie Lundberg playing the role of Peter Novak. You have Casey Keller playing the role of Zach Thornton. They have a great central defense pairing, I guess taking up Lubos Kubik's role.
You look at both coaches, right? Bob Bradley back with that Chicago Fire team, Siggy Schmidt taking over the Seattle team. We've talked about it all year. I think Seattle was atypical for an expansion team in that they were organized, they had a city passionately behind them, they went out and got Keller in goal, built down the spine, got Lundberg and Freddie Montero. They look very good.
Well, Shep, Chicago, of course, won the 1998 MLS Cup after making the playoffs. Can Seattle do the same thing? I know you're on their bandwagon here.
I actually think they can, and very different league from when Chicago did it. I think much more competitive. Having said that, championship MLS Cup will be in Seattle, so if they can get there, they'll have the edge. I think they have the firepower in the attacking third. They have Casey Keller in goal.
They have to get there, though, and I'll tell you what, that performance by Freddie Montero in Kansas City last week left something to be desired, to say the least. Gets robbed early in the game on a Hartman header. That wasn't his fault. You got to give Hartman credit there. But those 2 chances he had one-on-one with Hartman later in the game, he pushed them both wide of the net. You got to worry about a young striker's confidence with something like that.
Well, then again, a young striker, he's been streaky all season long. He's gone, so 5 games with a goal and then 5 games without a goal. So
now's not the time to go 5 games without a goal, though.
Get off his case. The kid's a young, talented player. He's going to have some ebbs and flows. I'm thinking he's going to do well.
Well, they're in the playoffs, and that's really all that matters. A team that right now is not in the playoffs, however, DC United. They got a big win over the weekend, beating Columbus at home on a criminally cold and rainy, windy day. But the key, I think, for them was Steve Cronin, the new goalkeeper, ex-LA guy, comes up from USL, and Jason did very well.
He did. I thought it was an interesting pick that he ended up as a starting goalkeeper because Milos Kosic has played a bunch for DC this season, but they put him in there. He's the USL 1 goalkeeper of the year, had a .68 goals against average there, so Tommy Sohn definitely had confidence in him.
Stats man attacks again.
The guru. I think Steve Cronin did a great job, and when he played for the LA Galaxy, they got hammered, very similar to Brad Guzan when he first played for Chivas. So I always liked the kid in terms of size, strength, agility, technical skill. He did well.
Remember, he had a terrible defense in front of him in LA last year.
That's true. So and also Josh Wicks also came and did well in DC. So it's almost like, that defense had a lot to do with it. How hard is it, though, Shep, for a goalkeeper to come in, not know the players, and 4 or 5 days later he's expected to play?
Yeah, I think less difficult than for an attacking player who needs the rhythm, the chemistry with his teammates. A goalkeeper, hands for hire. That's the mentality. Throw him in. He's going to be a shot stopper.
Well, an assistant coach who has been hired by a new team, Paul Mariner from the New England Revolution, has left the MLS club and joined championship side in England, Plymouth Argyle. This is his old club. He actually came up with them as a youngster, and now he's going home. Losing such an influential coach on the sidelines, how does this affect the Revolution as they try and get into the playoffs?
I mean, it certainly doesn't help them. He definitely played a part in their game preparation each week. I think it's something that they can get over. I mean, they have to. They don't really have time here.
I think class act by the New England Revolution organization. They didn't have to let him go, but this was his opportunity. He's done a great job for them. Kudos to the organization to let him take it.
Good luck, Paul, over in England. I've known Paul now for several years, and he's always been a very good guy and been good to me. Well, the ET Cup was not very good to me this week, unfortunately. And we're going to do the ET Cup today on Tuesday because on Wednesday and Thursday, it's all about the playoff chase. And this week, actually, Shep, you were the one who jumped ahead. You nailed it. Toronto over Real Salt Lake 1-0, and you jump up to first place.
I'm going back to Toronto just to spite them.
Here comes the email. Here comes the email.
It's the jinx. They have to figure out.
Hopefully he's picking whoever Toronto's playing. But
I'm picking Toronto 1-0 over Salt Lake. It'll probably be an own goal, but they'll figure out a way to get a goal. 1-0 Toronto. Well, I'm not celebrating yet. I think we've all been pretty mediocre, but I did pick that score. Toronto needed the game. They figured out a way to get a goal. It wasn't a thing of beauty, but it stood up.
Shep played the role. It's like our ET Cup mirrored the playoff race. You played the role of Toronto jumping into that last playoff spot ahead of Greg.
Well, Jason also got the right score. Well, you called the game as a draw between Houston and LA, but you didn't quite get the right score. So you jump up now to 8 points. I'm still on 9 points because I picked Chivas over San Jose, and that ended up as a draw. And Shep is in first place with 10 points. So let's get to this week's picks. And Jason, I'm going to ask you first.
I'm staying with the LA game. I'm going LA 2-0 over San Jose. LA, I think they're going to win the West. And Donovan Ricketts, another shutout.
LA is not going to win the West. I think you're wrong, but it is San Jose, so you never know.
I'm a Galaxy fan, but I hope he loses.
Right. Shep, what do you have?
I'm sticking with Toronto. They need this game to make the playoffs. They're playing against the New York Red Bulls team that they've struggled all year long. I think Red Bulls will get a goal, but Toronto find a way to win. 2-1 Toronto. The
way Toronto has been finishing, I'm not sure they can score 2 goals, especially on the road the way it is. Well, I picked DC 2-0 over Kansas City. I'm like you. I think DC needs this game. They finally got a goal. Luciano Emilio got in there. They got a win. They're ready to go. So I'm going to go with DC 2-0 over Kansas City in Kansas. That's the way it's going to go. Sorry, guys.
All right. As long as he stays in last place.
As long as Jason stays in last place. Well, all the teams that are now fighting for the playoffs, there are 7 of them, and there are only 3 spots left. On Wednesday's show, we're going to break it down, looking first at the teams that are in the playoff zone and what they need to do to stay there. So join us.